Hey everybody, good night. And as usual, I'm here for the early birds. I like this little few couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes before the show, because I think it's a good time to do what I call small talk about big things, right? Small talk about big things. We're just gonna, have a little convo while we wait for everybody to get themselves in here for Let 'em Eat Laughs. But the big things that I want to talk about is black owned brands, right? That's what I want to talk about. Black owned brands. Support them. That's it. Essentially, that's the message. That's the fun part, I think, of this whole thing. It's the fun part of the revolution. You get to cover yourselves, spoil yourself, fill yourselves up while circulating those black dollars. I'm being responsible even when I'm being irresponsible. I'm spending my money irresponsibly, but I'm doing it for the culture. That's so important. So I just want to support some black brands tonight. I don't even have to have anybody pay me to tell you about these black brands because, that's just how we always used to get down back in the day, right? Like if somebody said, hey, I like that dress, I like those shoes, I like that, whatever, we were just happy to tell them where it came from so that they could get the same good deal that we got or they could look as good as us. Because if you're going to be standing next to me, I want you to look as good as I do right now. So tonight, to start off with, I'm bigging up the whole black-owned makeup line, Juvia's Place. I'm bigging them up. And if you want to link up with Juvia's Place in the Greater Toronto area, I get it through Fab Faces by Fiona. You can find her right here on Instagram. I love her service. I love her delivery. She matches my color and everything like that. So Juvia's Place, the brand, and Fab Faces by Fiona for the service. I'm bigging her up tonight. Who else am I bigging up? I want to big up this lipstick. It's new. This is Fenty. This is my first Fenty, right? So this is thank you to the compliments in the comments. So this color is actually called Turks and Caicos. Can you imagine? So I can't go on vacation, but this is Turks and Caicos. This is as close to Turks and Caicos as I can get right now because we're in a panini pandemic. So Turks and Caicos by Fenty. Oh, and the earrings. Let's not forget about the jewelry. These are my signature earrings, the Duafe comb. It means beautiful. And these earrings are from Pure Authentic, Purethentic, Pure Authentic. Usually I get hooked up at Afrofest. Afrofest was a drive-through situation this year. So, but I don't know if anybody else went to Afrofest. We had a drive-in at Guildwood Station. So it was really different, just kind of being in your car, being around, listening to music, but I still had a great time. There was food. I really liked the Ghanaian jollof rice. I'm hoping I'm not just going to be vexing up a whole bunch of Nigerians or anybody else out there that makes jollof rice because I said the Ghanaian jollof rice was good, but it was good. And that's really what Afrofest is all about. It's about the food, it's about the camaraderie, it's around seeing people, it's about the music. So we couldn't have it like we usually have it. Like it wasn't like the back in the day Queen's Park vibe. It wasn't like the vibe that we get down by the beaches where it's just packed with people and you just hang out all day. But we did what we could for Afrofest this year and it was good. So let's get started because it's Thursday night, so we're here for another hearty serving of Let 'em Eat Laughs, where comedy, culture, and the culinary collide. Some like it hot, and what could be hotter than our guest tonight? Clif Knight. I'm Clif Knight. He was born in Guyana, and Clif is a comedian and a producer who has performed internationally, both live. Hey, Clif. Both live and virtually, like he's here with us tonight. So for the past 5 years, he's worked to perfect a storytelling style that makes people laugh and feel comfortable, kind of like a good dinner and a funny movie. Now, for those that are not in the know, in comedy, a roast is where other performers lovingly insult the guest of honor. So I met Clif at a birthday roast for a fellow comedian, and let me tell you, he had no shortage of skills in roasting, toasting, and cutting. So I'm surprised that he's not a better cook. So let's welcome Clif Knight. Welcome,
Hey,
Clif
hey,
Knight.
hey, what's up? Thank you so much for having me. I am a fantastic cook, by the
Oh,
way. I just am not a very adventurous cook. Let's say that, you know.
you're not a very adventurous cook. You just keep
No,
it safe.
yeah, I
You
cook
play
what
it
I know
safe.
how to cook. I used to be like, hey, I'm gonna go check up some recipes online. I'm gonna run to the supermarket, buy the stuff, and try to put it together and whatnot. And it just felt like it felt like putting together a Rubik's Cube made of Lego sometimes. Like it
Ooh,
just wasn't always a good fit. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stick to my chicken stew, my
well,
my my corned beef, my ground beef,
for you. Yeah.
and pepper pot. I'm working on pepper pot.
Well, I'll tell you now, this is being recorded, so this is not the place to tell us how many people you killed through your experimentations, So let's
It was just
let's get
me.
back on safer ground, eh?
It was just
Let's
me.
start at the
Made
beginning.
sure my mom never tasted any of that.
Okay, good, good. We got to keep mom safe. We're in
Yeah.
this to keep mom alive. So, Cliff, you describe yourself as a mixed race person, and you say that your birthplace is one big melting pot, which sounds delicious. So, tell us a bit more about that. What kind of cultures are melded together in Georgetown, Guyana?
So the thing we have this thing in Guyana where we say it's six people is what it is. We have the Amerindian people, the natives. We have the Europeans who showed up. We have the Africans who they were brought originally as slaves. We have the Chinese indentured servants, and then the Indian indentured servants. And I think that's six, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
2, 3, 4, 5. I forget what the
yeah.
sixth one is. It's probably like Portuguese
You
people
didn't
or
say,
something like that.
yeah, I'm gonna say white people. You didn't say white people
Yeah,
because
I said European, and that's
right,
kind of
they're
how that
everywhere.
goes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yo, what up? 592 Guyana drop in the chat. You done know things stuff. And it is that much of a melting pot. Like you have the people from, who are born here. There are still a lot of people who immigrate into Guyana, especially from India and China. All the religions are there. Everybody gets to partake. I was trying to explain this to somebody here. It was just like, people will celebrate Eid here. You'll see the Muslim friends, hey, Eid Mubarak or whatnot. In Guyana, it's gonna be a holiday. It's like
Right.
everybody is observing all of the, cultural and religious holidays, within reason, of course. Um, and so you end up sampling the food from everybody, getting into a little bit of the culture. You're gonna get invited to a Hindu wedding and get stuck there all
Right.
weekend drinking rum with the uncles. Like,
With
and
the
and
uncle.
there's a whole lot of harmony for most of the time. When we hit election, things get a little bit bumpy, but that's a whole other story. You
That's a, yeah, that's not for cooking.
know.
That's not a cooking story. But yeah, the food situation's got to be epic with that many different kind of people. Just all food is just bouncing up together and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. You go to any like family cookout, especially mixed family, you gonna have people bring in netem, somebody's gonna show up with cook up, somebody else is gonna come through with garlic pork. People are gonna make their own, everybody has their own mac and cheese recipe. You gotta have
Epic.
mac and cheese, whatever. And yeah, I was just talking to my friend about okra stew, all these things that are like sometimes you don't even know is things you like. There's a thing called souse. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if you know about souse. Yeah, if somebody tells you what it is, you're not gonna want to eat it. But if it's a Saturday night, you're already 4 shots of tequila back, and you have a bowl of souse, and you eat that whole bowl of souse, you're gonna be stone cold sober. You can drive home.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I love to think about South because that just reminded me of how different it is when you bring your things to Canada. And my mother was a teacher, so I remember there was a time when her school made a cookbook and all of the teachers had to bring in a recipe for the cookbook, and all these other people were like, "Oh, this is how you make French toast and peanut butter and celery." you know. So
This is how you
my
make
mom brought
potato
my
salad.
mom brought a recipe for South, eh? South, right in between the chocolate chip muffins and the peanut butter pancake to the recipe for South. And not even like a good Canadian eyes, like don't scare the people. She's like, you take one pig's head. I was like, oh God.
And you soak it for 3 days or
And the pepper and the whole 9 yards, eh? Like these people were not Canada was not ready for the South's recipe in the 1970s children's
in the
cookbook.
70s,
Yeah,
back when food had to be plastic, huh? Yeah.
yeah. We were trying to integrate, but she really wasn't that good at that part. So when did you come to Canada
I got
from
here in
Nigeria?
2011 is when I came over to Canada, and immediately. So my mom was already here for 5 years. I came and immediately had to figure out how to feed myself because I had been living with
Mm.
my dad for 5 years, and my dad, great guy, knows how to cook three things. Okay, three things. That's eggs, right? Macaroni with ground beef, right? Just a macaroni ground beef together, and Kool-Aid. That's the things that my dad knows how to make.
It's not a
So
thing.
he does cooking. Does cooking in
Wow. So that's basically eggs for breakfast and macaroni
macaroni and ground beef.
and
Sometimes you
Kool-Aid.
throw like vegetables in there and things like that. And so I show up here in Canada, and my mom's doing all this. She's doing the chicken stew, the beef stew. She's looking at pepper pot for Christmas and thing. You
Thank
know,
God for mom.
I had to figure it out myself because I was like, there's one weekend she went to go do something. It's just me in the house. I'm like, I gonna cook, and she gonna come back on Monday and she gonna see that I cook, and I look it up online, and I had to be like, I had to eventually like I bought everything and I had to get on my phone and I was like, mommy,
Oh God.
how you just make beef stew like you? And and she's like, first of all, you gotta get the pepper pot. And I was like, okay, click. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No, pepper pot? No, that's an the pressure pot. That's an explosive. I ain't playing with that.
You're the
Uh-uh.
little thing that
Uh-uh.
goes
So I
on the
decided to
top.
try and make lemon chicken.
Mm.
Lemon chicken. Okay? And I thought that the name of the dish, them's the ingredients. It tell you right there, lemon chicken.
And chickens. All
Right?
right.
You get some lemon. I go to the supermarket. Them I had lemon, so I grab lime. Same thing, obviously. Obviously, right?
Obviously.
Your boy did not have any seasoning. I don't have no adobo or anything like that. I had some salt, a little bit of black pepper. I decided I'm going to throw barbecue sauce on this, just to give it a little bit of flavor, right? And then you squeeze the lime out and you cut the pieces and you put it on top of the thing and in the layers.
I'm afraid.
No, my food come out tasting like a natural disaster. My food
Lord,
come out tasting like the EPA need to find me. I don't know. I just feel so bad. I waste like $8 a chicken.
yeah, but you see, that's how you show you're not a Canadian child, eh? Because a Canadian child wasn't even going to try any of that. A Canadian child is like, where's the Chef Boyardee? Or they're eating 6 bowls of cereal, for 2 for each meal until the mother comes back home again. That's a
I used
Canadian
to
child.
try and do the cereal thing. I used to try and do the cereal thing. But when I came up here, I started put on a little bit of weight. Put on a little bit of weight to guard against these Canadian colds, because you need that.
Yeah,
You need that. You
yeah.
can't just walk around being a stick the whole time. So it was like, yeah, and I was like, all right, we're gonna eat a little good and things like that. I went through a period where I was reducing my portion sizes specifically. So I was cooking a big thing, but I was using those small, like the smallest Tupperware bowl. So take two of those for lunch. So eat
All right.
one at the break and then eat the other one at the lunch and then come home and have a big dinner. That used to be kind of the vibe. And it worked for a while. I
Work
don't
for
do it
them.
right now because fuck that. I can't I can't be doing that right now.
Now you're just packing it on. You're just packing it on.
I ain't scared. I ain't scared no more. I buy clothes in large, so let's go for it.
You came up. It's a come up.
Yeah. hmm
All right. Well, let me ask a little bit about your comedies. This is like comedy in relation to food questions. So when you decided to go into comedy, like I want to know how that happened. And what ingredients did you have in terms of your personality and your background that got you off to a good start in the business?
Ooh, I don't know if it was a good start.
Oh, dear.
What the thing was, and people are gonna get tired of this story, but it's true, is I moved to Toronto. This would have been like 2015, end of 2015 and 2016, and I went jogging in my new neighborhood, and I got lost, and I wound up running over on the like Queen Street West, like University side, and
Downtown.
like downtown. I'm like, I got turned around. I'm like, I need to find Bloor, and I can find my way home, stuff like that, because I just moved there, and I stopped to ask a guy for directions. It's just a dude having a cigarette, and I turn around, I can see straight in a comedy club, like straight. I can see a dude talking with a microphone. I'm like, what's happening there? He's like, his stand-up comedy, is open mic. You want to come back? And I was like, I didn't know that was a thing you could just do. He invited me to do the open mic. It was like the next night. You know what I mean? And I thought you had to like go to school and study comedy and be in the theater guild or whatever. And he was like, no, 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 you just come. And it was free. And I was like, all right, let me try that out. Because I like making my friends laugh. I like telling funny stories. Uh, how I went into it is how I feel a lot of people kind of come into it is you show up with some funny stories that you've been telling. You try and tell those stories on stage and see if people are gonna laugh, and they don't. They
Oh,
don't.
that was my next question. Like, did they? Did they laugh?
I think I got like two laughs from the whole 5 minute set, um, and probably one more that was just me fucking up and them laughing at me. But yeah, that's kind of just where that's where it started, and I just kept going.
So I guess the ingredients are things like audacity, perseverance, and liking free things. Those
For
are
sure, for
those
sure.
are
I
the
don't think
ingredients.
I even bought anything at that bar for the first year that I was doing. Like the whole point of attracting people into the bar, so you can, and no, I would go get water with extra ice,
Yes,
and
a
and
little lime, you
yeah,
know.
no lime, no, had enough of that.
Right. So like this is your advice now. If somebody wants to get into comedy, you have to be, have perseverance, have a lot of audacity, and drink a lot of water.
Oh,
Have a good
definitely drink a
standing
lot of
water.
water.
Yeah.
One big thing, I actually like a real piece of advice I give a lot of people is spend your time paying attention, but also decide if it's something you really want to do. Decide if you're having fun, which is the big thing. Some people start and you have fun for a while, but as we know, you dig deep enough into this business, some people stop having fun, and so you
Mhm.
gotta you gotta find your balance on that. Yeah.
Yeah, so well then how did it continue as you from that first time as you kept going? Like did your career just rise up perfectly like pylori or did it just fall flat from time to time? Like how did it go?
Listen. I was a perforated rookie from day one. Okay.
Go.
'Cause I was working a job, I was still going to school, but I was kind of lucky. Like, this bar owner heard me talking about doing comedy, and he's like, I want a comedy night at my place," and I had a show. That's kind of how it
Oh,
was, and I just like suddenly had to figure out how to produce a show. Uh,
okay.
yeah, and put that together after a little bit of time. It kind of worked out, I ran that for about a year and a half, I think. Did some other shows, just producing, grinding, put some stuff together, and eventually, start to leave town, start to get some paid gigs, start to get some
Mhm.
schools and stuff reaching out to me. So it's just it is perseverance. It is deciding, hey, is this something I really want to do, and putting your energy into finding some opportunity for sure.
Good, good. All right, well, let's get back to the cooking that you say you're so good at.
I can
Because
make
I
cake.
thought you were learning, right? Like you were talking about, chicken stew and potato salad and roast broccoli. I was like, how are you learning how to make these things? Who is the internet your only teacher? Is your mother showing you how to do a thing or two? Like, how are you learning?
My mom has some advice on some stuff. I mean, investigating some of the recipes that she gave me, you start to realize like, hey, this is probably not the most healthy way to cook this, or something like that. It's like, yeah, this is the old school way to cook this, but like What's that? 2 pounds of butter? No, we're not doing that. Sort of thing. Um, the roast broccoli was a thing. We got my partner and I. We got an air fryer, so
Oh boy.
that changed the game on certain things for sure. For sure, you could just cut up some broccoli, toss it in some salt, and toss it in the air fryer, and it comes out so good as like just a light snack, a random light, very healthy snack. You throw some sauce on that, whatever you want. Easy to do, easy to do. Things like yeah, potato salad. I'll make a potato salad. If I want to get nasty, I put raisins in it. All kind of
You're lying. You
stuff.
are the
I've
that
done
a
that
bit of
one
a
time.
comedy.
I've done that one time.
Look, yeah, I'm still recovering from my first week, eh? Don't go left with the raisins before you have people picketing outside my house again. Okay, we
I'm
gotta just
I'm I'm not kidding. I did it one time. It was fine, but it wasn't just like the taste that I was going for. I could see how somebody would like it. Somebody who likes ambrosia, you're gonna like raisins and potatoes.
yeah. I had to learn about ambrosia. That's like the British custard that people like to put on their apple pie and stuff. I was like, what is this?
I call
What
it
is this
I
stuff?
call it root canal central is what that is.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that. Root canal and high cholesterol central. Like it's just like a big glop of
100%.
yeah. Yeah, it tastes good, but yeah, so the air fryer, I mean, I don't think these people know what they have done to people with
Get
between
out
the
your
air
air
fryer and
fryer.
the instant pot. If an air fryer doesn't get mentioned on this show at least once, I don't know. Every week somebody's talking about, well, I just got an air fryer. I mean, changed my life.
Big
Changed my
biggest
life.
biggest flex. Sometimes you order in like pub food, they give you those fries, and you can't finish it. You put it in the fridge, and the next day you don't want to eat them. You don't want to put them in the microwave. Put
They're
that
soggy.
in the air fryer. It will re-crisp it right up, and you'll be good to go. Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
big one. That's a big one.
Wow. And here I was just thinking, leftovers. What are those? Like I can't even remember the last time I
Well,
ever
you
saw.
you got a whole ass family going on there, so
Yeah, I got
you
too
never
much is
get the
happening.
you never get the luxury of being alone.
No, no, I gotta like eat, hunker down and eat in the car. And I guarantee you, some child, since the weather got warm, winter is the best time to hide and eat food in the car. But
Of
since the
course.
weather got warm, some child just materialized by the window, like, what you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
What you eating?
You're
I can
there
hear my
eating,
mother
you're eating, and the hand just
digesting.
comes right in and just.
Yep. It's like they can hear food landing in my stomach and they just arrive. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wait on that kind of leftovers flex.
Yeah,
And
make sure you figure out. There's like a whole Netflix show about leftovers, about like repackaging the leftovers
yeah,
into something gourmet. It's pretty amazing what some people will do, but it's just like, hey, yo, man, wouldn't have even done all of that still. Like, I would have, I'd have thrown some ketchup or some barbecue sauce on this and, made some rice for the side and then be Gucci. You know what I
call
mean?
it a day. That's it. And what about this lasagna? You say you can't make it, but you like to eat it.
I do
But
really like lasagna. It is a lot of steps. It is a lot of like, I'm gonna put my hand on it at some point. I am gonna try and cook some lasagna. I got Pyrex now. I bought some Pyrex, so I'm gonna go ahead
woo,
and see if I
boy,
can
that's some
actually do it.
grown folk things. You're like a man when
Yo,
you have pirates. You're a man.
the Pyrex and the skillet. We got a skillet. One of those
Cast
like
iron.
yeah, cast iron commit a
Woo.
felony skillets. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
armor
Have like an
piercing
Al
rounds.
Green throw the grits on you kind of skillet.
Yeah, yeah, that sort of thing. So it's just like it's an era of experimentation a little bit for some. So I made a creamy mushroom stew the other day that
Mhm.
was pretty bomb, but I shouldn't have that much dairy in
Yeah,
general,
like I understand there's some kind of epic battle happening between you and cheese, and I'm almost afraid to ask, but I want to know who's winning. Who is winning?
Right now I am winning, and I will continue to win even if I lose. That's just how that will go. Like I said, the whole lasagna thing. Like, I remember my sister-in-law, my brother's wife used to make a thick lasagna. It was kind of Caribbeanized, so I liked it. You know what I
No.
mean? Like
How?
she would do different kinds of like like they'd have the cheese. I suppose it wasn't so Caribbeanized. She would just have like a certain kind of sauce that wasn't the like ragu or
Fair
whatever. It'd
enough.
be something she would make. So I don't even know what it was. But I did like it. I came here and you taste traditional lasagna. I still like that too. It's just, yeah, you gotta put layers together. You gotta spend a whole day doing the thing, cook the thing, put it all together, cook it again. You know, it's a bit much for my skill level. So maybe we can get there.
Yeah, we will get there. And is it worth the struggle though? Is the lasagna so good it's worth whatever's happening with you and the cheese?
Uh, you deal with it. You just do it. You just deal with
Yeah.
it. What else you can do? I gotta eat the lasagna and eat too much of it at times, like straight up too much of it, and then you deal with it tomorrow. You make sure you have your Pepto. You know, you make sure you have your newspaper in the bathroom.
Oh
Or your
God.
phone, whatever. Good to go. Download a movie because you gonna be there. Like
Wow, all of that, eh?
sometimes.
Oh God. Okay, so we're going to talk more about what you're working on in comedy, but first we're going to get into the speed round.
All
All
right, let's
right?
do it.
The speed round is when I say five different things and you just tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
Standard disclaimer, there is no money or prizes to be won, right? Listen, I gotta say it, yeah, because I'm dealing with a bunch of some comedians be broke and they just hit me up after
Yeah.
the thing. I'm
You
like,
don't
no,
got nothing? No Amazon gift card? Nothing?
no, nothing, nothing. You just have to take it for what it is. I have nothing, therefore you have nothing. All right, so number one, chicken foot.
Crunchy.
Seriously?
Chicken foot.
Okay,
Like
you do you
chicken foot, like fried dough chicken foot, not chicken actual feet.
what is fried dough chicken foot? I thought, did you mean beaver tail? Because I meant, like,
So okay, this is a thing. There's a thing called chicken foot where it's just fried sticks of dough, and we call it chicken foot. And you like dip it in sour and stuff like that.
okay, I know what those things are. Now I'm trying to remember what we called them, but I don't think we
Probably
call them
has a
chicken
different
foot.
name. Chicken foot, like actual chicken foot. It's tasty. Yeah,
So you do eat the chicken foot.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're not a Canadian child. Canadian children, we run from the
It's
pots,
not it's not an everyday thing like a chicken foot. Like yeah, it must be in a sauce. It must be
Yeah.
in something. It's not just gonna be like, hey, dude, here's a casserole with chicken foot. And you're like, no, I'm not gonna eat that.
Okay. All right. You're legit. But number two, wild meat.
Laba.
What?
A laba is it's like a big animal. It's some sort of rodent, I suppose, or no, that's a capybara. There's a laba. There's a big thing
Oh
you
God.
catch in the bush back home,
There's
and that's like
capybara in
uh,
Guyana.
yeah, man. That people go catch those and eat them all the time. So whenever you're talking about wild meat, people are talking about laba, capybara, iguana, that sort of thing.
See, I only heard about capybara in Australia, which is a place I've decided I will never go because I saw this
Yo,
capybara. I said, if I ever get up at night and find one of these things rooting through my garbage, I'm burning down the entire country.
a
So, but
capybara? Capybaras are so cute. You thinking about chupacabra? I don't know. Like, you need to pull up a picture. Capybaras are.
I'm mixing up all my rodents and whatnot. Is that what you said?
It
No,
might
no.
be.
Huge guinea pig. It was not cute. It was not cute. It looked like a big rat.
It is a big rat, but they're cute. They're pretty cute. They're harmless, man. They're
Harmless
harmless
because
compared
you
to
are
everything else that's happening in Australia. Like,
true, true. But as far as eating them, I can't say it's the most. The one I saw was actually a service animal. It was a service capybara, and it had a
oh,
harness. Somebody was taking it on a plane.
see, that is different. You saw a capybara with bills, so yeah, they're not gonna be cute. They're gonna be
Yeah, it
pissed.
wasn't cute.
Yeah,
I was like, what in God's name is
capybara
that?
with a job. No, it's not going.
Yeah. But it would take a Guyanese person to decide that that's something that you should eat.
I mean, I
So,
feel like my Venezuelan friends, my Brazilian friends, yeah, they'll eat capybara. It's just you'll see, like I think capybaras are you're not supposed to eat them anymore. They're like endangered or something. But laba, they're like
probably.
everywhere.
And what was the other one you said? I was mixing it up with a chubaca. A
A
what word?
chupacabra, the like is like a myth in Mexico. It's like some sort of like goat killer or whatever.
Okay. But if we find it, we'll curry it. That's basically
For
what you're saying.
sure, fam.
All right, and then number three, is it chicken curry or curry chicken?
Is chicken curry. It is
It's chicken
chicken
curry.
curry. If
Okay.
everybody who says is curry chicken, it would be, if you said it right, it would be curried chicken.
Oh, curry as a verb.
That's how it is. That's
That's what you've
English
done
that
to
we
the
talk
chicken.
in here. It is a chicken curry. You know what I mean? You don't say casserole chicken, it's a chicken casserole. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Okay.
You don't say
Got it.
soup chicken is chicken soup. This is very
Right.
easy. But if you turned it around, it would be souped chicken. It would be casserole chicken. Yeah,
Right.
if
So,
we talk in English here, which is what we speak, and apparently Trini people and the rest of the Caribbean are still under the colonial thumb of the Spaniards. So I
oh
just need they need a history
God.
lesson.
I gotta run off the set. I think I hear the Trinities gathering outside my door. Oh God.
It's duck curry. Nah, curry duck. It's curried duck. Any listen, we talk in the Queen's English until she dies, and then we switch it to
Okay.
Mandarin. That's every.
All
I know
right, good.
everybody said that. Yeah.
Let's wait for that. All right, number four, El Dorado.
El Dorado, 25 euro.
All right. All right, but is it the best rum to you, bar none?
Uh, it is the best rum in the world that I've tasted for sure. I'm not so much of a rum person, so maybe I haven't had the breadth of experience. But like people I know who talk about rum, and I tell them I'm Guyanese, they're like El Dorado. You know what I mean? They
You're
don't know
not a rum
nothing about
person.
Kaichur. They don't know anything about Jagan. They might know Jonestown, but they for sure know El Dorado rum.
Wow, like you didn't even pop a Appleton in there. You didn't. I mean,
Appleton
I'm not Jamaican, but I'm just saying,
Appleton
not
has
even a.
sauce, and the only reason people know Appleton is because they go to Jamaica, and that's where they sell at. You know what I mean? You'll
Not
have
even,
El
not even
Dorado.
Ray and his nephew. Not Ray and his nephew didn't
Ray and
get in
his
there.
boy, nah, that's industrial cleanup. I'm sorry, Ray and nephew is something you drink before a colonoscopy or something,
Uh,
man. Like don't.
See, I'm not even trying to bring our Vincy rums into the myth, because it's too hard to even get them out of the country. We are not even
It,
allowed to take them on a
I didn't
plane, so
even
they
know.
can't
I didn't even know y'all made that. I didn't
because you
even.
can't get it out of the country. This is how it's like it could be used to blow up planes.
It's a
So
secret. I understand. Yeah.
yeah, that's that thing. All right. So you said you're not a rum person. What kind of person are you?
I'm not so much a, I don't really drink so much rum anymore. These days, I'm more of a cider guy. I'll have some wine, that sort of thing. Rum is for, rum is for if you're like at a party, it's somebody's birthday, you're not going anywhere tomorrow, because you won't be able to go anywhere
Right.
tomorrow. You drink too much rum. I had a friend who was like a real gin guy, people who like gin, they like to
Mhm.
pretend that they can write or something. So it's the whole thing.
Yeah, but you're taking it down. You're more of a like a cider guy, a
Yeah,
wine
like
guy.
I don't even drink beer. People are always trying to get me to drink beer here in Canada. I'm like, I'm not. Mm, no.
Yeah. All right. Last one, soursop.
Soursop, mm, nasty.
You don't
Unfortunately,
like it.
nah. It's not even the taste. It's the texture for me that I can't really get around.
You take it in any other format? Soursop the drink, soursop the ice cream, soursop the candy.
The ice cream I've had is just that sort of thing. It's just like if I have the opportunity to get other ice cream, I will. The drink, you don't see much of it, and whenever you do see it, somebody else wants it more than I do, so you just allow them to have it. So
Okay, so then ice cream, what's your preference in terms of flavor if it's not soursop?
ice cream, I'm straight up like I'm so white now. I'll do cookie dough, man. Like straight up cookie dough ice cream. That's my thing. Even like the dairy free ones, I'll get cookie dough, just so there'll be something in there.
Yeah, yeah. So no rum and raisin and nothing like that for you. You've gone completely to the other side.
Yeah, I was never really a rum raisin person just because like that smell gets to me, and it's like, yeah, there's more rum. Like, I had 25 years of lactate. You know what I mean? It's the same sort of smell, and I'll
Yeah.
have that at Christmas or gatherings wherever I have them. I won't just be like, hey, I want to get drunk by eating. I don't be doing
Fair
that.
enough. Fair enough. All right. So thank you for the broke ass speed round. Uh, back to the comedy presentation. It's very important. So,
Indeed.
how do you present your material? Like, I mean, for example, are you the kind of comedian that cooks a perfect comedic meal and then you just keep serving the same meal over and over again to different audiences, or are you always adding new stuff to the menu?
Oh man, I do a bit of a mix. I have some things that are like, this is standard. I know it's going to be solid. I know it's going to fill the time I want it to fill. I know people are going to laugh. I know that certain other jokes are going to give an insight into me as a person. And I have jokes that are like, hey, let's just be silly. Like, usually I'll get to the show, I'll assess what I want to do with this audience. You know what I mean? Writing the perfect five and sticking to it was something I did, like, I want to say my first 6 months of
Mhm.
comedy. And then it's been constantly like, yeah, getting new stuff, experimenting a little bit, having it bomb, having someone say, hey, that's stupid, that sort of thing. And then
Yeah.
there's a fine line, especially in comedy, there's a fine line between someone saying, hey, that's stupid, or someone saying, that's so stupid. Like, you really want to be playing with that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So your latest project now is called Money on My Mind, right? So I need to hear more about that because I'm trying to figure out if hopefully it's about getting the money off of my mind and into my wallet. But what is that? What is that
Little
about?
bit, yeah. It's kind of a veer left thing. So I went to business school. I used to tutor in economics, and then throw in one or two like tidbits of like small, self-financing stuff that I had picked up from like teachers and business people that I had met, and things like that. Nobody in my family was really financially literate, so I kind of had to put it together
Mhm.
myself and do some research and whatnot. And I figured that a lot of people here in North America, either they'd be new immigrants or first generation or something, might not have the insight into how small parts of the financial system really help them that they might be forgetting about. Things like a lot of people in our culture wouldn't trust credit cards and whatnot because there's been kind of a demonization of them. But you do need a credit profile. You do have to have some, if you're eventually going to want to buy a car, buy a house, or get an apartment, all these sort of things. So I'm just dropping some of these like small things that they should be teaching in high school, as a little bit of a financial literacy. Hey, this is something you may want to look at that is provided for you that can help you get a handle on your life before it spirals. Yeah, and I'm doing that workshop for teens and preteens through
Oh,
JVS Toronto, but I'll also be hosting my own on Zoom next month. So I guess keep an eye out for that. Yes, it is about getting more into your wallet, but it is about putting the money more on your mind because a lot of people lose money because they're not thinking about it in the way
all
that
right.
they should.
So
Yeah.
how we can get more in our pockets, but we keep it on our mind so that we know how to keep
It's
more of it and manage it
exactly
better.
it's money psychology basically because a lot of people think that their money is just a matter of arithmetic, but they're not taking into account how uh, money is actually arithmetic plus time because
Hmm.
you're running against time, not just because of inflation, which is a whole other thing, but you're running against time in that you have to make rent, you have to be able to eat, you have to pay your phone bill, and that influences your actual decision making process, right? And you have to be a little bit cognizant of that. So that's what I'm trying to get people to examine a little bit more in themselves.
Hey, that sounds good. So finally, where can people get a hold of you if they're looking for Clif Knight? They want to know about, see your work, upcoming shows, Instagram, TikTok, where can they find you?
Yeah, I was doing TikTok pretty hard last year, wasn't I? That's one thing. Instagram is probably the best place to find me. Underscore is not Cliff, you know what I mean? Or on Facebook, Cliffy So Funny. Twitter and TikTok, the same thing. Cliffy So Funny. You'll find me in there. I did a bunch of videos. From time to time, I'll do podcasts. There are some shows coming up that will be in my bio link. So I guess, yeah, just follow me and keep your eye on that.
Yep, I will tag you.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, thank you. Thank you, Clif Knight. It's been fulfilling. See what I did there?
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dio. Dio's a longtime friend. Love her.
All right. All right. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the viewers. This has been Let 'em Eat Laughs with Clif Knight, and we'll be back next Thursday at 9 o'clock. I hope your belly is full of good vibes. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again, Cliff.
Peace.